Hey everyone, my name is Kenasia Willis, and in this video, I'll be explaining my project on media bias and how it shapes public opinion, especially when it comes to immigration enforcement. So the first thing I looked at was the idea of media basis, basically like just the idea itself. Media basis is when I keep saying basis. I'm so sorry. Media bias. Media bias is when news outlets present information in a way that encourage the audience, so basically us, to see an issue in a certain light. I use allslides.com like for the definition, just like to get my um, background on what like media bias means, and they explain two important kinds of bias, which is spin and word choice. Spin is when writers use dramatic language to shape the emotion of a story, and word choice is when certain terms are selected to make something sound more positive or negative than it really is. For my two articles, I chose one from CNN and then one from Fox News. And both of them were talking about the same situation, which was the Trump administration increasing immigration enforcement and the ICE raid activity, which is just like a new outlet that's just everybody knows about it basically. The CNN article focused more on how sending more federal agents could bring tension and fear into the communities. And then that tone made it seem like the situation might cause harm, like do more harm than good. And then a Fox News article focused on the idea that these raids were like needed for safety and talked a lot about removing dangerous criminals. So they made it seem like it would do more good than harm. So even though both articles were talking about the same event, they were both framed completely different. CNN focused on the possible negative impact, and then Fox News focused on law and order and protection. Then I looked at how bias showed up in each article. CNN used spin by describing the enforcement in dramatic terms like crackdowns and intensifying efforts, which makes the event sound urgent and threatening. Fox News also used worst choice bias. They use phrases like worst of the worst and criminal migrants, which pushes the reader to view immigrants as dangerous, even though the article doesn't provide evidence for those claims. So CNN had more a liberal leaning tone that emphasized concern and community impact, while Fox News had like a more conservative conservative learning tone that emphasized security and crime. Um, After that, I tied in a public opinion. A 2025 Pew Research Center showed that a lot of Americans feel news outlets are not fair or balanced. Then I just finally connected to what we learned in class, and our textbook basically just talks about the media, how the media plays a major role in shaping public opinion and political understanding. That definitely showed in both articles. The same event can look completely different depending on which source you read, and that affects how people form beliefs and take sides in political debates. So overall, this project helped me see just how important it is to be aware of media bias. It did like let me know, like basically showed me like what to look out for. When we recognize it, we can think for ourselves instead of just like absorbing whatever angle we are being presented. Thank you so much for watching.